Hello, welcome to Making Western Your Home. Come live with us. My name is Erin Miller, and I'm a Supervising Resident Director here in Residence Life at Western Washington University. My pronouns are she, her, hers.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dongbo. I'm also a Supervising Resident Director, and my pronouns are he, him, his.
Hi, my name is Vicki Vanderwerf, Associate Director for Residence Life. My pronouns are she, her, hers.
Today we will talk about the mission, the reasons and benefits to live on campus, housing communities offered by university residences, dining options, room and board rates, housing application timeline, and university residences contact information. The vision for university residences is students in university residences engage in a community unlike any other, where they explore their passion, purpose, and place at Western. It's a very aspirational vision statement. However, we are working towards it every day, helping students find their place, their purpose, and their passions here at Western, both in our residential communities as well as at the institution. The mission statement for university residences is to create affordable, safe, and well-maintained university housing that supports participation in healthy, inclusive, and sustainable communities where students invest in their academic success and personal growth.
So why live on campus? We want to highlight 5 of the reasons that we think you should live on campus. First and foremost, safety and convenience. Our buildings are very secure, they're well maintained. Residents and staff will have access to university police 24/7. RAs, our resident advisors, are staff that do nightly rounds of the buildings. And we also have professional staff called resident directors who live on campus and respond with our staff and to residents as needed. The convenience is obviously a very big part of living on campus. You can watch TV, do your homework, grab a snack, pick up your mail. Mail is delivered to each front desk in the community, and you can even do laundry without leaving the building. Laundry is included as part of the cost of living on campus, but when you do leave the building, you're only a few minutes away from dining commons, other eateries on campus, academic classes, and other campus amenities like the library or the rec center. We do provide a lot of academic support. When you're living in the residence hall, obviously you'll be around a lot of people. We create those spaces for students to collaboratively work together and study in the residence halls to support our students. But in addition, we also work with a lot of our campus partners, such as academic advising offices and the tutoring center, to bring them into our residence halls. So having proximity to several of these campus resources will help support the students be more successful. You're really close to the tutoring center, like I said, but you also have access to computer labs in your residence hall communities. You're near advising offices, such as student outreach services, and you're also able to connect more closely with the professors' offices. We also provide academic success conversations. We monitor our students that live on campus and try to do proactive outreach to students who might need a little bit more of a push or a check-in from our staff. We try to build relationships with these students, and so we try to connect and get to learn what their needs are and what they're studying. We also provide an inclusion assistant position that provides diversity, equity, and inclusion programming and educational opportunities. But really, part of living on campus is also personal growth. As a part of our mission, we're committed to helping students to not only grow and succeed academically, but personally as well in both formal and informal ways. These are really spaces for students to kind of learn and transition into what it means to be in college and adults, and they're going to be meeting their best friends and learning how to live together. We also provide a number of leadership opportunities. They're going to be surrounded by students who are involved on campus and other leadership opportunities in different ways in their home community. And we also offer many in-house opportunities as well when you live on campus that you might not have access to if you were to live off campus. There's student government such as Hall Council. They can get involved in their residence hall. There's also national organizations such as the NRHH, National Residence Hall Honorary, or the Residence Hall Association. We also offer several student jobs and ways for them to get involved, whether it's working at the front desk or also as a resident advisor, that are also available throughout the community. There's also a lot of other opportunities for them to be leaders in their community if they don't hold an official title or position. They can be leaders within their friend group, on their building, on their floor, and other ways on campus. And it could be through student clubs. But there's a lot of opportunities to build those leadership skills and taking on roles within their community. With that, we do try to provide a number of trained and talented staff. All the halls will have well-trained student staff such as RAs, AAs being apartment advisors, and the inclusion assistants. We employ over 80 students who are there to support, advise, and actively engage with the students in their experience in living on campus. Overall, our surveys show that there's a 90% satisfaction rate with our student staff in the halls, and we're very excited and proud of that statistic. So each of our communities is led by a full-time resident director, typically masters holding, who supervise those staffs and work to create that engaging and inclusive environment for all of our students. Living on campus is optional. About 90%, however, of freshmen choose to live on campus during their first year. Studies do show that the most significant factor in retention from freshman year to sophomore year is living on campus. And that sense of belonging is the #1 reason that students typically will leave the institution. So living on campus helps to provide them that support network and that community that further fosters their success here. We do offer a lot of ways for students to give us feedback about living on campus, from what type of furniture they'd like to buy for their lounge to their overall satisfaction experience. Safety, physical, in addition to building skills such as engaging in conflict, personal connections from moving in through the entire academic year. These are skills that they are going to be exposed to by living on campus. They get to live with another person or in a community with a lot of people from diverse backgrounds and experiences. And what we typically see is that they will learn how to engage with each other, learn from each other, support with each other, and confront each other. That teaches them a lot of skills and help build a safe community. From some of the surveys that I had mentioned before, the top 3 reasons that we gathered that students attend programs and events on campus is that they get to meet a lot of new people. This is an opportunity for them to meet a lot of people. We have over 4,000 students that live on with us. They get to meet people from all different backgrounds and environments and experiences and learn all kinds of different stories. They get to meet and build a new community. Second, they get to learn. They're in a learning and academic environment. They are immersed in that. And if they were to live off campus, they have to build that for themselves. But living on campus, we have staff, we have resources, we have and we create spaces that allow for intentional learning. And then last, you get free food. We have a lot of programs that offer free food. We also know that taking care of yourself and nourishing yourself and making sure that you get access to those things that are very critical support your own success. And so if you're hungry and you can't think, we can provide programs and resources that help support that.
Okay, so we also wanted to touch on some of the different housing communities that we offer. We have a wide variety of room types and community styles that really benefit the needs of students. So we split up campus in 3 different regions, and each of these regions are unique and operate a little bit differently and have different room options for students that are available. So first, our South Campus. South Campus has a lot of our returning students. Burnhamwood Apartments is there, which is really reserved for sophomores and above traditionally. Also on South Campus, we have a lot of suite style rooms where there's 2 or more students who are sharing a bedroom, and then they're also sharing a bathroom. They have their own bathroom, or some communities also have their own kitchens that they share as well. Then Fairhaven is really sweet style with community kitchens, but share a bathroom, which some students really enjoy. So a lot of returners live on South Campus, mixed in with some first-year students. North Campus is really houses our traditional style communities, and what we mean by that is it's really long corridor style hallways with community bathrooms off of those hallways. So a lot of double rooms where you're sharing a room with one other person. These are really popular rooms for first year students just because it's great to get to know a lot of people. So if your student is coming to college and doesn't know anyone, these communities are great to start off with because you're getting to know a lot of people at one time, and they're really strong for community building and building relationships. The Ridgeway communities, also another really great place to live. What's great about the Ridge is a lot of students feel an identity on the Ridge and feel like there's smaller buildings on the Ridge that maybe have 100 or 200 students in each building, but they feel like part of the larger Ridge community, and there's a lot of events, programs. We do a Ridge Carnival every year at the end of the year. Really get students out of the room, celebrate the nicer weather coming in spring. So there's a lot of activities that are really catered to the Ridge as a whole, and a lot of different room styles, suite style, where they share that bathroom, and then also some double rooms. Across campus, we have some singles that are available. They're limited. We also encourage students to live with another person just because a lot of times they haven't done that in the past. It's a great experience just to get to know somebody else and really connect with somebody here at college, but then also learn how to live with somebody and share that small space. So depending on the community or the room style, room type that your student wants, there's a lot of different options. And we'll talk about how to look at those and figure out what option is best for you at the end through our website. So double rooms are really the campus standard. Most of our students will live in a double room, whether it's different whether or not they share that room or share that bathroom in a suite style, but most students will share with one other person. Also, like I said, there's a few singles, also some triples available on campus. But standard amenities really include some of the things that you see in the room here in the picture. So bed, twin bed, desk and chair. Dressers are usually either built in a closet, or if they're not built in, then there's a dresser in the room. So the furniture you see here is pretty typical for a room. And then, of course, all the other amenities are included in terms of Wi-Fi. And if Wi-Fi goes down for some reason or a student is having trouble with that, we have staff who are here to able to address that right away. Digital cable TV service is also provided. So everything in terms of housing costs is included in that room rate, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. So some of our other amenities, depending on the community that students live in, it could be either in the building or stack where they live. So for example, laundry is available in every building, every stack, and in most of our communities. But then usually there's an area desk. So a desk is where students can pick up their mail, rent out equipment for ping pong or pool or games or things like that. So some of our amenities are within a region or within an area, but it's all within very close proximity. Most of our buildings will have community kitchens. Some rooms have their own kitchen in the room or in the suite or apartment, but most don't, majority don't. So there's community kitchens where students can cook and gather to make desserts or meals as they want to. Every area or every region has different study areas that students can utilize. Computer labs are all over campus and most of our buildings. There's community lounges as well where students can just hang out, study, practice presentations. Game rooms where, again, there's that pool, ping pong, different things they can do there. And then last thing we wanted to mention here was bikes are really popular for getting around on campus. Parking can be really limited here. Just like any college campus, we definitely encourage students to bring bikes when they're able to.
As Dong mentioned earlier, we have master's level resident directors in each community, and their role is to educate our students on skills needed during their time here at Western as well as after graduation. We do this through our residential curriculum, which focuses on 3 learning goals of inclusive community building, career preparedness, and personal wellness. Inclusive community building is exploring how one lives with others who hold different beliefs, attitudes, and worldviews that are different than your own. A lot of roommate conflicts that I've experienced come down to having 2 students with different perspectives of what is considered normal in their life. We work with those students to see that there can be multiple perspectives within one given situation and coach them in how to advocate for what they need in those moments. Career preparedness is helping students connect with resources for their academic success while they're here, as well as preparing them for their careers after their time at the institution. And personal wellness varies by student, but we boil it down to understanding one's own needs, advocating for that personal change and taking responsibility for that change, as well as connecting students to different resources. Some strategies we use to accomplish this might include one-on-one interactions with RAs, floor and building programming, as well as community development. We offer students 4 different learning communities that they can be a part of outside of just normal housing. Viking Launch is an early success initiative program, an early arrival success initiative program, where students come early, they are part of a cohort, they engage in a few different activities and classes to help familiarize them with the institution, as well as academic level to be prepared to successfully go through their first year of college. Pride Housing is designed for students who want to explore LGBTQ+ identities in society. Honors is attached to the honors program. So students who are in the honors program might want to live together. Some choose not to, but for those who would like to be in that same community, there is an option. And then Sustainable Food Systems is a new program that we have through our Fairhaven College, and it is attached to the Outback Farm on campus. All of our students also have a lot of choice in what type of room they live in. We have our traditional single-gendered spaces, but we also have gender-neutral spaces, allowing students to live with who they want, substance-free spaces, where students are committed to not engaging in behaviors related to drugs, alcohol, tobacco, etc., and our international areas across campus, where we usually place our international students and those domestic students who express interest in living in an international community.
So what we've talked about rooms, but what about roommate options? You should know that they're all great options, and there isn't one right way to select the best roommate. There are a couple specific steps that you do want to keep in mind within our housing application process to select a roommate, and you'll learn more about that timeline later on in this presentation. And the first and easiest way is really, do you know somebody? Great. If you know somebody, you can easily select each other. The students can go through the housing process and select each other through the housing application. If you don't know somebody or you're just looking to meet someone new, even if you have friends attending Western, no problem. You have a tool on the housing application that shares different attributes, your profile, and your potential to find roommates with someone who might be compatible as well. And there's opportunities for you to connect and start talking and learning about each other as well. And then honestly, if you want us to do the work, just keep following the application process. Create your roommate profile and then just wait. We will use that profile to try to pair you up with another person, and you'll be announced of that room assignment and the roommate when you are placed. I should let you know that I have lived on campus myself. I once had a Brazilian roommate from Brazil, and I was very nervous about having a roommate, but it ended up being great. Something that I see a lot of students try to have to navigate is that they're looking for this ideal best roommate. And I usually tell residents, I'm not sure that's the perspective to take. I would tell people that the perspective to take is really to learn about each other and learn each other's needs and how to live with one another and support each other. And oftentimes you're gonna maybe get into an argument or something, but it's important to work through that and support each other and to know where that where each other comes from. And I still stay in touch with my roommate from Brazil. So in addition to your roommate, your room, we spoke about university dining. We know that this is a very important part, is having options for food and maintaining a healthy diet. We provide 3 different commons and several eateries on campus to meet the needs of our students, our faculty, our staff, and visitors, and provide a variety of options for everybody that is dining with us. Our dining is through Airmark. They have extensive experience providing different dining experiences across the world, and they support our values of supporting active, healthy lifestyles and social responsibility and community development. So they often work very closely with our housing staff and our students to collect feedback and also provide accommodations for students, especially if they can't find it in the eateries. So we want you to know that through those 3 main dining commons, they offer a buffet style and are open continuously, including some late night options as well. You can get some on-the-go options that are available, in addition to coffee shops and convenience stores right on campus. Some of the communities will have built-in convenience stores that are also available for people living outside of those communities within certain hours. But all meal plans come with 194 dining dollars per quarters. Those are currency that you can use on campus, and they give you a special rate if you use them. But our overall options are you can get an unlimited meal plan per quarter. There's also 125 meals per quarter, 100 meals per quarter, 80 meals per quarter, and also a special meal plan for Buchanan Towers that has a built-in kitchens that is 40 meals. Each swipe into the dining hall equals 1 meal from the meal plan. So we want to highlight all of the different eateries that we have on campus. We have Subway, Panda Express, Starbucks. We have several other eateries where you can get like bowls or bagels and several markets. We have a eatery within our rec center. You can get smoothies and several other places and options for students all across campus.
Okay, so we got to probably what everybody wants to know is a little bit about our room and board rates. So this is our standard in terms of double rooms is our typical room option like we talked about earlier in a 125 meal plan. So the combined cost for room and board, this is for the full academic year, is about $12,500, $12,520. So this is an average cost. So depending on the room type and where you're living, that will change a bit. Or a single room is going to be a little bit more, those types of things. So on June 1st, our rates will be published. So this is an average cost. So we think it will be next year, but those rates are determined over the next couple of months. So by June 1st, we'll have those. So please let us know if you have any questions about that. And Dong talked about Viking dollars, and those can be purchased at any time for use in coffee shops or bagleries, markets, anything like that. So if a student wants to eat more on the go, there's options for that as well. So we know this is important to consider costs in terms of housing and dining with overall college costs with tuition and books and those kinds of things. So if you have questions about this, we encourage you to reach out to us. So we also want to talk about our timeline and priority dates that you should be aware of. So our housing application is currently open. It opened on February 1st. So anybody at this point is welcome to apply for housing. And we encourage you to do that as soon as your student or you as a student know that you're attending Western and want to live on campus. So by May 1st, any new student, that's a good date to shoot for in terms of applying for housing. So if you're a new student coming to Western, first-year student, May 1st is a good date. If you know you're coming, that's the date you want to apply by. It'll give you the most housing options, and it'll allow you to look at our roommate portal to see who might be a good fit to room with. Late May, all of our communication will go through my housing portal and your email. So definitely check your email and that my housing portal, because we'll have notices for deposits due in late May is when that will first come out. And then mid-June, a couple of things happening there. You can request your roommate at that point, or use that portal to look at different roommate options and different roommate profiles to see who you might want to live with. And then also the deadline is to pay the housing deposit in mid-June. And then online room selection will happen over the summer as well. You'll get notice about when that starts. But you can choose your room and choose where you want to live based on if you want to share a bathroom with a smaller amount of people, or if you want to live in one of those double rooms with more of the community style bathroom, or if you're looking for more of a kitchen or apartment type community. All of those options will be available then. And then on September 1st, you want to check your portal again, and that will confirm your room assignment. Usually it's a little bit earlier than that, but by September 1st, you'll have your room assignment ready to go, so you know where you're moving in for September. Another piece that we want to highlight are our move-in days. So that will happen this year, September 18th to the 20th. So all of those days are full move-in days. So we have volunteers who are a lot of students and staff coming to help move your belongings, direct traffic. We do want to make a note at this point that move-in is busy. There's 4,000 students and their families coming to move in at the same time. So you might have to wait a little bit in traffic, but we try to make that as smooth of a process as possible and make it as quick as possible. So it's a good experience for families, for students coming in. There's a lot of events and activities going on those first few days where students get connected, figure out how to get involved at Western. So it's a really fun, energetic time. So you want to mark your calendar for those dates, and then we'll assign you a move-in date and time depending on the building that you're living in. So to wrap up, we just wanted to, if you have any other questions or if this presentation brings up questions, our best point of contact is our email, which is HOUSING.WWU.EDU. So if you want to email us, it's HOUSING.WWU.EDU. And then up here is also our website. So our website is HOUSING.WWU.EDU. So email is just housing@, and then our website is housing.wwu.edu. So the website has a ton of information about different styles of communities. You can explore each community and look at room layouts and different room options that are available. You can look at different programs or events that happen there. There's pictures of the staff just so you can get to know a little bit about our student staff and our professional staff who oversee those communities. There's information about our programs and events. There's information, all the information that we covered today is also on the website about rates and room options and programs that are available. Those early arrival programs like Viking Launch that Erin talked about are all listed on there. So there's a ton of information on the website. We encourage you to check that out, but please reach out to us if you have any questions. We're here to help, and know this can be an exciting but also somewhat stressful time as well, just to move to a new place and start your academic career as a student at Western, or have your friend or family member do that as well. So just want to know that we're here to help. But to end the presentation, just wanted to thank you so much for listening and engaging in this session virtually. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out. We're happy to help, and we look forward to seeing you in September.